Dog says that's the way it should be done. The elapsed time, 5.67 seconds. His speed, 256 miles an hour for Kenny Bernstein. Advancement to the semifinals. After a long, smoky burnout, John Force brings his Chevy Cavalier to a nice, slow stop as his competition fires the 2,500 horsepower nitro-burning engine that is encased in this fiberglass body. This is Brad Tuttle. Tuttle first burst onto the scene at the Winter Nationals when he qualified well in the funny car field. Then coming to this Spring Nationals event, he qualified in the number 7 position. Tuttle calls his car the Nitro Bandit, and here in round number 2 is facing some stiff competition against John Force. In round 1, Tuttle had a fairly easy go of it against Della Woods, but this time it might be a bit different, as John Force qualified in the number 3 position, defeating in round 1 Jerry Caminito. You'll find no racer as dedicated to winning as is John Force. Why? Because he has been runner-up 6 times. He is what is called the proverbial bridesmaid, and that could spell trouble for Brad Tuttle. You've got to know that John Force has had it with not winning a drag race. You can almost feel the intensity emanating from John Force in his car as he comes into the staging beams to race Brad Tuttle. In Tuttle red light, he was thinking about it, but for Force it's an easy go. He automatically advances into the semifinals as Brad Tuttle left the starting line too soon, thus disqualifying him from further competition, giving the win automatically to John Force. But Force could only run a 5.95 second elapsed time at only 229 miles an hour. That may cost him if lane choice becomes a factor. As we watch again, you see Brad Tuttle leave too soon, the red light glowing on the Christmas tree, the win automatically to John Force.
Well, John, I've heard you say a lot of times, all you need is a little luck. Well, you just got some with that red light.
Well, we had a little luck, and the car did fall off a little bit. But you're right, and I've heard you say this a lot of times. So we're going to go back and we're shoot it again. And if this thing don't win me a drag race, I'm going to start punching holes in this race car.
Well, see, maybe that's why they call him Brute Force. On the starting line, it is Tom McKee.
Oh, man, look at that crowd in the grandstand here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A great multi-purpose facility, an oval, a dirt track, you name it, they've got it. It's the Lucas Oil Las Vegas Nationals, part of the NHRA full throttle drag racing series, and a lot of those fans are from across the street at Nellis Air Force Base. Here comes John Force and Cruz Pedregon, the defending champ here.
This is the first time these two have met since the second round at the U.S. Nationals, when Cruz could have really helped himself by keeping Robert Hyde out by getting around John and then racing Robert in the next round. Interesting to note, Cruz took the left-hand lane with lane choice.
Oh, guess what we're gonna have? Well, we got a little bit of a pedal fest. Might have been premature in thinking that John Force was going to win it, but he did. 466, 220 miles an hour. And so, the shades of the U.S. Nationals, John Force and Robert Hyde, will face one another in the second round.
Well, Cruz couldn't seal the deal once again, and like I said, he took the left-hand lane. Everybody's been taking the right. I kind of got to wonder why he did. I mean, in qualifying, he got down the left-hand lane both runs. He never went down the right-hand lane, but this is a different day. You saw how close John Force got to the wall on the other end as that thing was spinning the tires big time, and he was not lifting until he crossed that finish line.
One more look at it. John Force, left side of your screen. Little smoke show, but a big show for Cruz Pedregon. And then John Force gets it all sideways. You would have thought at that point maybe he wasn't going to win it, but John Force did. Now faces Robert Hyde.
From our Jegs helmet can, you're going to see that Cruz spun the tires early. That's what cost him the race, because John, even though he was spinning the tires, it was further down track and he had the momentum. Go on board with Cruz. Heard him pedal that race car, still spin the tires off the side of the groove, and you can see John out of the corner of the shot. Now take a look at how close John came to the wall. He would not have been disqualified, because if he's going to hit it, it would have been right there, and that was after the finish line. As long as you don't hit it before the finish line, you would not be disqualified.
You got to remember that marker, that upright marker, is at 1,000 feet. That's where Nitro races this year. top end, it's Gary Gerald.
Boy, John Force, after a wild ride there, almost hit the wall. He advances, but now you've got Robert. Here we go again. What are we going to expect, John?
Here we go again. Let me tell you something. I told my team in the meeting this morning for prayer. Let me tell you something. You saw my daughter, Courtney and Brittany. They both won first round. But Courtney blew the tires off in that Sanyo dragster. It went up on a tire. She pedaled it. She hit it. That thing went down through their blades in the tires. They were 5 feet tall. Looked like garlets in 62 at Bakersfield, except the motor was on the wrong end. It was just spectacular. I said, anybody can win on any day. I went out there for Castle Auto Club. Everybody Ford. And that thing blew the tires off, and I'm against one of the best, Cruz, and I went after him, and I thought, you want to hit the wall, I don't care. I drove that son of a gun, and that's the funnest ride. That ride was for me. I loved it. Bring Robert on. Let's dance.
All right, we're going to be dancing.
Wow. How cool is that?
I wish he'd get a little more excited.
Yeah, you got to get him more involved in this sport. Let's look at the Lucas Oil Ladder for Funny Car now.